What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel for another video. So we're actually at a different gym now. It's a new gym in Cheltenham. It's called TBJP X Shed. So it's owned by Jordan Peterson and James Hollingshead. So if you're in the bodybuilding world, most of you know who they are, so it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, especially in the UK anyway.
Yeah, well, especially to Gloucestershire. Gloucestershire for bodybuilding gyms is not great. It's alright, like we've got some okay gyms, but in terms of equipment, they're quite basic.
Yeah.
So something we've been looking forward to having here was just, there's gyms up north in the UK, like Ultraflex is like the most common one that you know about, and you see it on Instagram all the time. They've got all the kit that you can think of, and now we've got a gym in Gloucestershire that has all the kit that we can pretty much think of.
It's on par with any or exactly the same.
Well, I mean, we've never been up there, so we don't know exactly what it's like. But to be honest, we don't need anything more than what's in here because we've already trained here. So we're in for legs today. It's our first proper leg session. So we came for the open day last week, but it was so rammed we just kind of took whatever machine we could get.
Yeah, that was supposed to be our leg day, but we couldn't really do what we wanted.
It was like, what do we call it? Like a D-volume, I guess, wasn't it?
Yeah, we just treated it like a deload day. So there was no point in trying to think, right, let's try and get a good workout where there was like at least a couple hundred people or more than that even in there.
Also, it's 8 AM, which is early birds for the rest now, because we haven't done 8 AM workouts in a while, so
yeah,
we're going to try and stick it.
The reason why it's going to sound like we're going at this time because we know that there's going to be a lot of people travelling hours to come here, and it probably isn't going to be that busy as we're predicted before. We want to get a good workout, we want to get the machines we want to use.
Yeah, we're anticipating busyness.
We're trying to actually get the program in properly and not wait around for a machine, none of that. Because I'm pretty sure that he has had visitors already over Saturday.
And it's going to happen when you've got someone like James and Jordan owning a gym.
And it's not a bad thing.
Just their name sells it alone. So
yeah, it's not a bad thing. Obviously, it's just good for everyone. But it's just when you want to train properly and don't want to have too many people around, you have to try and get in extra early when people can't be fucked to come in. So.
Yeah. To be honest, actually, it's been quite good. We haven't had a time yet where it's been so busy we couldn't train, and there's so much kit. To be honest, even if it was, I'm sure we'd be fine. But
yeah,
we're extra like anal, I guess, and we do like it when it's quiet. So yeah. Can't wait to get in there and get this done, have a first proper leg session.
Yeah.
Also,
quads as well, it's going to be the priority.
Just a weird update. Well, it's not a weird update. We still obviously take ABE. This is a Love Hearts flavour.
It's not the best flavour.
And I'm not enjoying it. Yeah. it's alright.
I bought this one again anyway.
That one's much nicer.
This one's better, but I'm starting to get a little bit bored of it, so I might switch back to the sour apple again soon.
All I say about the Love Hearts is it smells great, but it does taste a bit like, I don't even know how to describe it.
Like medicine.
Washing up liquid. A little bit, actually.
Right.
But yeah, I want to just quickly talk, actually, just very quickly. You can get big at any gym. You don't need, especially if you're a beginner, you don't need to be going to gyms like this. I'm not trying to put you off, but you actually don't need to. You can get away with having all the basic stuff, learn the basics, and then once you've learnt the basics, you can actually get the most out of all the machines that do all this other stuff, and you actually understand what a lot of them are doing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're only here because we've been training for years and years and years, and we just feel like we need something to help step us up to the next level. I'm not saying we needed it, but I'm not going to say no when it's around the corner. Yeah. So,
and yeah. I just get sick of like seeing a lot of people that like progress and loads on like Cybexes and the proper like leg presses when we've just using the bare basics. It's just annoying, man. It's like, nah, man, I want to be getting these gains. And
yeah, we're forced to squat nearly every week otherwise.
Yeah, again, it's not bad what we're doing, but it's easier to progress now because we've got the years in training already now. We need something to give us more of an edge.
Yeah, I just feel like the squats leaves me a little bit more battered in terms of my central nervous system every week.
And we're doing deadlifts anyway, so it's not like we're taking out all the compounds completely.
Yeah, deadlifts will always stay in. I'm not saying squats will never be back either. They will be back, but we've been doing it for ages, and I'd like to cycle a different exercise. So, anyway, that's enough rambling. We'll let you know what we do. You'll see the workout.
Yep.
Hopefully it's a good one. We're probably going to be weak as fuck, to be honest. We don't use these machines. We don't know what half of them are. We're not fucking pros of all these things. We're learning them as well. Like even like all the adjustments. I don't even know what the fuck half of them do. So anyway, get us in there.
Okay, so here you can see we are in the gym for our first leg session in the new gym. So we've actually started with the Cybex hack squat. It's something me and Dave are really excited about. We see people using the Cybex hack all the time on Instagram. We have used an old school Cybex, so we know roughly how this works, and we kind of know our strength on this particular machine. But for the most part, we are just working out today, like how strong we are on certain machines. We don't really know our limits yet, except from kind of this machine, I guess. The only thing is though, on this machine today, we went with a different stance. We'll be honest, we are copying other people on Instagram who are actually really good at hack squatting. And this is the stance that most of them seem to do. So we are going to give it a go. We're going to run it for a couple of months now that we have access to this machine. So yeah, narrow stance. We're going to keep our feet grounded. We're not going to let our knees come out. So we're basically doing this with almost like a closed hip, I guess, stance. Now, the main thing that I felt today, I'm sure they would agree, is that when you do a closed hip stance, with feet close together like that without letting the knees come out, it's mostly going to work the inner quad, which is going to basically build a lot of muscle around the knee. So me and Dave, this is something that we both really need, and is in theory should just make our knees a bit more bulletproof. So that's how we started off with the hack squat, and then we move on to the leg press after, where we're actually going to go with the opposite stance. So we're going to go more open hips, so feet pointed out. And the feet are kind of actually cave a little bit at the ankle, but more outwards. And the idea of that is so that when we push, it's going to be mostly on the outer quad, so your quad sweeps. So here you can see now we've picked this particular leg press. I have no idea what leg press this is. It just looked nicer than, not nicer actually, the other leg press that they happen to have is actually the same one we've had at our previous gym. So we just did this one just because it's different and we want to give it a go, try something new. So you can see actually David's doing it pretty well. He's getting nice and deep. When he comes back up, his half is pretty much the same as it was on the way down. I'm noticing with me now, I didn't feel it, to be honest, when I was doing the sets, but I can see it. Left leg's pointing out on the way down, which is great, but as soon as that push, it starts caving back in. It just wants to naturally do that. So that's probably more a muscle imbalance that I need to keep working on to fight against that, to be honest. And it kind of shows in leg development when you do things like that. You'll have slight imbalances and it will just throw your physique off. You'll have one leg looking slightly bigger than the other at certain angles. So it does actually matter lowering the weight and pressing it back up. So try and be consistent and just pick a pattern, keep it consistent. That will give you a consistent physique. And remember, when you pick different exercises at different points in your workout, you want to do those for a reason. You don't want to just do junk volume. You don't want to be leg pressing the exact same way as you hack squatted. All you'll do is basically see significant increases in one particular part of your leg rather than the whole leg. So just think about that when you carefully plan your program. So moving on to leg extensions. Now, this is our first time using prime equipment. Now you can see what the hype's about. The main thing for us is with this prime leg extension, and it is the same for the hamstring curl as well, but for this leg extension, the stretch it allows you to get into is beyond any other leg extension machine I've used. Normally, you try to stretch at the bottom and then you end up resting the weight back on the stack before you fully stretched, whereas this one allows me to just pull my legs all the way back and then fully contract at the top. So it is pretty amazing. And if you really want to as well, there is an adjustment to change the resistance profiles. So like you can see on the side where the plates are, there's 3 pins. So you can basically change whether it's going to be hard at the top of the rep or at the bottom of the rep or at the mid range. To be honest, I can't really be bothered to play with it too much, so I am just putting them on the mid pin. And it's the same with any of the other prime equipment, they all pretty much do that. So for the time being, I'm actually just going to load it on the middle just to keep it simple. If I ever want to play with it a little bit, I might play with the lengthened range, which just means when you're in the stretch position, I might increase the load there a little bit. But for now, I can't be bothered to overcomplicate it. I'm just enjoying the stretch positions that these machines allow you to get into. So you can see now we're on the hamstring curl, so this is a seated version. Again, it's the same brand that's Prime. Again, we're just loving this Prime stuff. It's really, really good. It is genuinely some of the best equipment. Well, it's the best hamstring curl I've used. It's the best leg extension I've used. So yeah, we're just gonna keep loving this equipment basically every week. We're just gonna appreciate it because we've used all sorts of equipment in our time of training. And yeah, this is the best. So again, anyway, with a seated hamstring curl, it's pretty good for getting you in a really deep stretch, but the contraction you get at the bottom as well is crazy as well, because again, some seated hamstring curls, I knock the bottom when I curl too hard, so this one allows me to curl all the way without touching the bottom. So the range of motion is really, really deep. And the way we've been doing these seated hams as well is we've been taking advantage of quite heavy weights. So whenever we get tired, we just get one of us to spot and then push the pad down so we can squeeze it where we fall short. And then we just make sure we control the negative portion of the rep ourselves, so at least you get to take advantage of a heavy weight as you lower the weight or control the eccentric element of the rep. So before we move on to calves, we did actually do adductors. Now the adductor machine they have, we'll be honest, we felt a little bit silly doing it today, and we didn't want to record ourselves doing it whilst we were learning how to use it. It sounds weird, but it was a bit different to get in the position. We'll record it next time so you can see. We are probably being special, so I will be honest, even still. But again, we don't want to be showing you how to do an exercise and we don't know how to do it ourselves, because there's nothing more stupid someone can do. So anyway, standing calves. This calf machine is really good. We haven't had access to a standing calf machine for quite a while. We've always had a seated calf machine and then used leg presses to do toe press. But yeah, this was really good. Enjoyed using a standing calf for a change. It got really heavy, really quick. 2 plates was all we needed. And then we did an extra set after with just 1 plate and then squeezed out as many reps as we could. And we finished on seated calves, which apparently I looked pretty happy about there. So basically, we finished with seated calves. You want to have one calf movement where your legs in a pretty much straight position, and you want to have one where your knees bent or flexed, however fancy you want to be. So yeah, no secrets here, literally just 1 to 2 sets on the first calf exercise, and then again 1 to 2 sets on this exercise. And then pretty much that was it for this leg workout. If you found this video useful or just have simply enjoyed watching it, give us a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and if you've got any questions, just put them in the comment section.